So we're just going to look at this question. It's books of first entry, ledger and trial balance. So the start of this question is fairly easy. So it's where a lot of the marks can be picked up. So the first thing you're asked to do is to record the transactions in a sales and purchases book for BAT Limited. Okay, so sales and purchase book are just books of first entry. So that's straightforward enough. It's just taking the information and putting them into a sales book format. So here we have a sales book for, and we just have to write in BAT Limited for the month of May 2017. And this one here is going to be a purchases book for BAT Limited for the month May 2017. Okay, so we have to make sure to put our two headings in, because that's marks dropped if we leave out our headings. So in our sales book, we just go through each one of these. So sold goods on credit to Fox Limited. So if we sell goods, it's sales. So the date will be the 1st to the 5th. Details will be Fox Limited. Let's leave out folio for the time being. Put in invoice number 2 here. 80,000. Then there's 23% VAT, and then we add total ex VAT plus VAT to get the total. So we do that for the 2 sales there, 2 sold goods, and then we also have 1 purchased goods on credit from Hen Limited. So it's the exact same here. So I just put in all the entries there. So from the 1st of May, the 80,000, 23% of that, add them on as 98,000, and so on and so forth. Just be careful. You need to make sure you have a sales day book for BAT Limited for the year, for the month of May, and purchase day book for BAT Limited for the month of May. You also need to total these figures off here. Okay. I'll just move quickly on then to the analysed cash book. So the next thing is the analysed cash book, which will be take into account this: record the following transactions for the month of May, and the analysed cash book for BAT Limited. Okay, so the analysed cash book is record book number 1, and it looks something like this. The headings that you need to put in is date details folio bank on the debit side, and date details folio bank on the credit side. I'm just going to pop in debit and credit. The other headings then are given here. So the first heading is bank sales VAT debtor share capital, so that's on the debit side, and then on the credit side you have bank purchases VAT and insurance. So I'm just going to pop these headings in on the debit and the credit side now. So again, I've taken these headings and I've just put them where they've asked us to put them on the debit side. Okay, so bank sales VAT, we have bank sales VAT, debtor share capital, and then the credit side, bank purchase VAT and insurance. So now what we need to do is put each of these transactions into the analysed cash book. Don't forget your analysed cash book heading as well. So the first transaction is shareholder invested 120,000, and this was lodged. So 120,000 we can see comes in on the debit side because the shareholder or share capital. So we're just going to type this in on the debit side here. So again, we just need to make sure that it goes to share capital, and it also goes into bank as well. Okay, so the bank is the really important column. Same with here, really important column. This is just the analysed part, so it's just where we can analyse what's coming in and what's going out. Here I've just typed out some words just to save some time in the video. So we have shareholder invested 120,000, good. Receipt number 3, done. Then we have purchases for resale. So we know that the purchases is going to be on the credit side. So 26,000 plus VAT. So we just have to put in 26,000 into purchases, and then if we calculate 23% of that is 5,980. The next one then we have is Hair Limited. So we know that from our sales, we know that Hair Limited is a debtor. So the debtors, so we're going to bring over on the Hair Limited was the 28th of the 5th. Hair Limited. And the amount I hit the bank was 35,000. So the bank 35,000. We also need to just put in the analyzed part. So 35,000 goes in there and into bank. The next one then, last one then, is sales lodged. So we know the sales is on the debit side. So it's on the 31st of 5th. So we bring down the 31st of 5th. It's sales, and the amount is, the total that hits the bank is 51,660, and the amount that is our sales is 42,000, and the VAT is 9660. So all that's left to do now is to just balance the account. So in order to balance the analyzed cash book, what we need to do is we just need to worry about the bank account. So just the bank and the bank here, because that's the part we're going to balance. So we add up the left hand side, we add up the right hand side, we see which is bigger. So this, if you add these three here together, it equals 206,660. If you add these together, it's only 45,000. So this is the bigger figure. These are the bigger side. So this is going to be our balance. This is going to be our total. So when we total, we're just going to draw a total line here and the total line here. So we know that this is equal to 206,660 euro. So we know that this side here equals 206,660, but this side here doesn't. So in here we're just going to have to put our balancing figure. So what we have is our balancing figure is 161,280. So that's what's basically left in the bank account at the end of the year. So what we need to do is we just need to double underline this, because that's the end of this and this also. Also, just what you can do in your own time is what needs to be done is you just need to add the columns going down. So 42,000 here, 9660, and so on and so forth, and the same in this column here, because that's the analyzed part. But the key figure is the 161,280. So the next thing we need to look at is we need to look at the double entry part of the question. So we need to take all this information from down here, all this information up here, and put them into T accounts. Okay, so in our T accounts, we're going to have the sales, we're going to have sales, we're going to have purchases, we're also going to have VAT, debtors, share capital, set purchase, VAT, and insurance. We already have VAT. Okay, so we're going to have to open up accounts for all of these. We're also going to have debtors and creditors. So we're going to take these figures, we'll start with the analyzed cash book, take these figures and put them on the opposite side in the T account. So if it's on the debit side here, in our shareholder account it's going to be on the credit side. In Hair Limited it's on the debit side here, so it's going to be on the credit side in our debtor or Hair Limited. Okay.